Hello, Elly here from Thankful Flow Yoga. Thank you so much for joining me for this YouTube practice. This is going to be a full body, all levels practice today, so there'll be different options throughout. So just take the option that feels right for you in your body today. So we will be getting started in a comfortable seated position. So do come down to the mat and either cross-legged, or you can have your legs out in front if that feels better for you. So I want you to bring the hands to rest in the lap with the palms facing up, tips of the thumbs touching, so our Dhyan Mudra. And to come into the practice, we'll close down the eyes or take a steady gaze. And starting to notice your breath as you breathe in and breathe out. Notice where your breath travels to within your body. Notice the quality of your breath today. Perhaps seeing what your breath might want you to know. And we'll start to let go of anything that came before this practice. Any thoughts of what might come afterwards. Just dropping into the present moment, being right here, right now. Opening the eyes back up now if you had them closed. And bring the hands to the ground beside you. And we'll inhale, sweep the left arm up, lift up and out from the waist. Exhale, stretch over to the right. Keep the heart shining towards the ceiling. And then I want you to continue sweeping around with this left hand and tapping the left hand over on this right side as well, and seeing if you can really feel this stretch through the left side of the body, maybe into the back of the body here. Now release the left hand, sweep it up and over, and we'll come over onto the other side. So stretching over to the left side this time. Pausing here first, heart shining towards the ceiling. Breathing here. And then reaching around with this right hand, finding the stretch here. Well done, and sweep the right arm back up and over, back to center. Hands come to heart center and Jali Mudra. Inhale, open across the chest, float the arms into cactus. Start to inhale, lift up and out from the waist. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, back through to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale back to center, exhale over to the right. Inhale back to center, exhale over to the left. Inhale back to center and release the arms. Well done. Take a couple of shoulder rolls. Shake out the hands and the wrists. And here, just connecting to a sense of releasing and letting go of anything that is no longer needed. Shaking that off. Mentally, physically, energetically, emotionally, whatever layer you want to go to. Well done. Now moving into our tabletop position on the mat, so your all fours position. From here, exhale, walk the hands out in front, melt the heart down to the mat for your extended puppy. Breathing here, letting the heart drop down, opening into the shoulders and the upper back. Inhale, draw the belly in, walk the hands back in so that they're underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes under and on, and exhale, send the hips to the sky for your downward facing dog. First downward facing dog of the practice, so take a little pedal out through the feet here. Really stretching into the backs of the legs. The most important thing is really finding that lift through the hips. So if your legs are not straight, that is okay. Prioritize finding the length through the spine. Breathing here. And finding some stillness in your downward facing dog. We'll inhale, lift the right leg away from the mat, finding a 3-leg dog. So you could either just be hovering that leg away, maybe that leg sweeping up higher, maybe you're opening into the hip, but just take what feels right for you. And then we sweep this right foot through between the hands. Back heel comes down. Inhale, reach the fingertips up, warrior one. Interlace the fingers, bring the hands to the back of the head. Inhale, open the elbows out to the side, opening across the chest. On the exhale, see if you can drop the head, draw the elbows in. So inhale, open the elbows out to the side, make space across the chest. Exhale, draw the elbows in, drop the head. Last one, inhale, opening everything up, heart's lifting towards the ceiling. Exhale, rounding. Inhale, come back to center. Release the arms, step the back foot in. Take the arms behind the back, and you're either going to take the hands to the elbows or you're going to take your reverse prayer position behind the back. So take whatever feels right for you. Inhale, reach the crown of the head to the ceiling. Exhale, we fold forwards. So it might be coming down to this halfway point, keeping the right hip tucked in. Maybe coming down a little bit lower if that feels good too. Not forcing anything here. Breathing into that space we're creating within the body. Inhale, start to lift the chest, keep the spine long. Coming back up, release the hands from your reverse prayer and ground into this right foot. And we're going to take the hand to the inside of the left leg and reach your right fingertips up. So it could be that you're working here, taking a quad stretch. You could have your hand on the wall to support you. Next option is to take it into our dancer pose. So start with really kicking the foot into the hand and finding that spinal extension first. And then maybe from here, you start to drop the chest a little. But keep that foot pressing into the hand pressing back into the foot. Finding a drishti if you need to. So finding that focus point. Well done. And release. Float the hands back down to the mat, step it back to me in plank position. Flow through your vinyasa, so come through a chaturanga here, inhaling either into upward facing dog or taking a cobra. And then exhaling back to your downward facing dog. Well done. Taking a breath here. You can always take a child's pose if you need to. Lifting the hips towards the ceiling. This time we inhale, sweep the left foot up, find your 3-leg dog. Option to open into the hip. If that feels good for you. Could be just a little hover that you're taking with the leg. And sweep the left foot through between the hands, back heel stays down. Reach the fingertips up, warrior one. Bring the hands behind the head, interlace the fingers. Inhale, open across the chest. Exhale, drop the head, draw the elbows in. Inhale, lift the head, open the elbows out to the side. Exhale, drop the head, draw the elbows in. Inhale, lift the head, open up. Last one, exhale, drop the head round the spine. Inhale, lift the head back to neutral. Release the arms. Step that back foot in if you need to. Find your reverse prayer, or just bring the hands to the elbows behind the back. Inhale here, reach the crown of the head to the ceiling. Exhale, we fold forwards, keep the left hip tucked in. So either coming down to this halfway point, or maybe you start to come down a little lower, being mindful of how the back of the left leg feels. Listening to your body, taking what you need from the practice. Inhale, lift the chest, start to come away from the fold. Release the hands. And we'll bring the weight into the left foot. Bending in your right foot, and the hand comes to the inside of the right leg. Left fingertips reach up. So you could be working here, or the left hand could be coming to a wall to support you. And then start to press the foot into the hand back into the foot. So take that first, and then maybe the chest starts to drop as we find our way into dancer pose. Keeping that back leg active. Keep breathing. And releasing. Floating the hands down to the mat, stepping the legs back, and we flow through a vinyasa. Inhaling into upward facing dog or cobra, and exhaling back to your downward facing dog. Reconnect with your breath, send the gaze between the knees. This time we inhale, step the right foot through between the hands, and then staying low, if that's in your practice, we're going to pivot. So my right toes are pointing towards the corner of the mat and come down into your right side Skandasana. Now, if you're higher up in your Skandasana, you're going to be looking more like this up here. Just keeping that lovely space across the chest. And then opening out, so finding a stretch here. Left arm reaches up towards the ceiling, following with the gaze. And then wherever you are in your Skandasana, I want you to bring your hips down to the mat. So if your hips are already close, you can of course just bring them down. You might have a little bit more to lower down. If you were higher up, that's okay. So just come into this position here with this right leg bent in and the left leg's lengthened out to the side. If that feels too much, you can always lengthen both legs and just come into your wide leg stance for this stretch, okay? So if you've got the leg bent, you're going to bring the left hand to the right ankle. Inhale, sweep the right arm up and over, stretching over to the left side, so over the left leg, finding a nice deep stretch here. If you're in your wide leg stance, you're going to be stretching over to that left side as well, so looking more like this. So wherever you are, just really keeping that heart shining towards the ceiling. Keep the space across your chest. Well done. Come back up to center. And then finding your way back into your right side Skandasana. So again, modifying it, taking what you need. And from here, we're going to move over to our left side Skandasana now. So you can either bring the hands down to support you, you could be much higher up, or maybe you're powering through over onto that left side. Nice. So once you're there, opening out the arms, right fingertips reaching up to the ceiling, follow with your gaze. And then releasing the hips down to the mat or making your way down. So either taking the position with the left leg bent, or you can have both legs lengthened. Right hand comes to the left ankle. Inhale, sweep the left arm up and over. Find that stretch here. Again, just listen to your body. If it doesn't feel right for you, then take the other option. So sometimes our ego gets in the way, tries to take over, and wants us to always do what we think is the most challenging option, or whatever that may be. And often that is disconnected from what we really need in the practice, what we really need on that day, what our body needs. So trying to find a way to connect with that through awareness, through the breath, being the observer. Well done, and release. Seeing if you can find your way back into your left side Skandasana, add in as many steps and modifications as you need to. And then we're going to pivot and bring the hands back down to the mat. Step it back to your plank position, and we'll take a final vinyasa. So inhaling into upward facing dog or cobra, and exhaling back to your downward facing dog. Well done. Hips are lifting towards the ceiling. And then drop your knees down from here, walk the hands in, bring the hips back down to the mat. Take the hands behind the thighs, roll the shoulders back, make space across your chest. Draw the belly button in towards the spine, lift the toes away from the mat, find your Navasana boat pose. So hands are going to come to heart center. We're going to tap the right toes down to the mat. And as we do so, tap the fingertips to the left side. Bring it back in. Tap the left toe down to the mat. Tap the hands over to the right. Bring it back in. Right toes tap down. Hands tap to the left. Bring it back in. Don't worry if you're a little bit confused. Just take some taps and hold your Navasana as best you can. Right toes tap down, over to the left, bring it back in. Left toes over to the right with the hands, bring it back in. Last one. Back into center, holding here. Arms out to the side, breathing. Well done, release the legs down to the mat. Take a big hug. Wrap your arms around the legs, exhale, drop the chin down towards the chest. Close the eyes or take a steady gaze. Just let the body fold in on itself. Notice if you can feel the opening or the stretch into the back of the neck, down the back of the body. Maybe seeing if you can hover the toes away here in your hug. So toes hovering off the mat. And releasing the feet back down, releasing from your hug. Just coming into comfortable seated position on the mat. And we'll bring the hands back to Dhyana Mudra, so resting them in the lap, one hand over the other, palms facing up, tips of the thumbs touching, close down the eyes. And close off the practice with a releasing breath. So I'll count for 3 as we inhale and then exhale out through the mouth. So inhaling through the nose for 1, 2, 3. Exhale, release. Opening the eyes back up when you're ready, coming back into the physical body. Thank you so much for joining me for that practice. If you enjoyed this practice or my other practices, please do hit the like button, do comment, share feedback to me on how you're getting on, and do subscribe to this channel. It's completely free. I really appreciate all the support on here. And yeah, do let me know how you're getting on. There's links below to the other things that I offer. I do have an online on-demand membership that you can join, where there's loads of 60-minute practices, shorter practices, delving deeper into the chakras and the elements, and guided meditations, body scans. So yeah, do check that out if that's of interest to you, and I can't wait to see you again very soon. Take care. Bye bye.